students, in this class we are discussing next another important lesson in geography, that is Indian physiography. So before that last video we already discussed the position of India, and on that based we imagined that one the climate condition of India. So on that based we can see in India we can identify there is the same climate condition in India. North to south, if we are comparing the climate condition, we cannot get same climate condition because of that one influenced by our physical features or physical conditions. Because of we cannot see same structure, physical structure in India. Some of the place we can see mountains, some of the place valley, some of the place plateaus, some of the place plain and coastal areas. We can see different types of structures in India. So these are the physical structures influenced by in our country in some of the part. So for example, we can see river system. So on that based we can see climate condition also, and next one natural vegetations. We cannot get same natural vegetation in all over India. Some of the place we can see some of the minerals have more, or forest area. And climate condition also, we cannot get same climate condition north to south. In winter season, we already knowing the North India always expressing so much of cold. In South India, there are moderate types of cold. In rainy season, we already knowing the coastal area is getting so much of rain. But in North India, if you are comparing in North India to coastal area, the North India is getting some little bit less rainfall region. Same that like only summer season also. So on that based climate condition also influenced by our physical structures. And next one they saying same that like only land use. We already knowing people they're not using land for the same purpose. They're using for different types of purpose for they using the land. And next one agriculture work also. And next one transport and distribution of the population. So these are the contents influenced by our physical features. So where we are getting sufficient climate condition, they can live in that place. We can see that in that place we can see there are so much of people they are living. And transport system also they developed forward transport system. Where we can identify there is so much of difficult to live, so that place we cannot see that much of population. So these like climate condition in physical features also influencing by some of the content. So based on the physical features in India, we can see there are 4 types of physical features based on the physical structures, climate condition and the river system and the distribution of the population. So on that based we divided our physical condition as a 4 types. So what are that 4 types? So here first one they given, that is the northern mountains, second one the northern Great Plains and the peninsular plateau, and last one coastal plains and islands. So these like we can see there are 4 types of physical features in India. One is northern mountains, second one is the northern Great Plains and the peninsular plateau, and last one coastal lands and islands. So when we are comparing one by one physical structures in that 4, we cannot get same features, a same climate condition, a same occupations, a same lifestyle of peoples. We can see there are so much of difference. So on that based in this class now we are discussing one by one. So what was the special features we can see in each physical conditions or each physical features, and structure of that physical features, and what was the uses on that physical features. Because of what we are discussing that on 4 physical feature also that is needed for in our country. Because of we are getting so much of users on that physical features. So why that one importance to in our country? So these are the matters we are discussing in this class. So in that now we are discussing first one, that is the northern mountains. So this only is saying that only the sentence or that word only saying that points only they saying the northern mountains, means the northern mountains is located in north side. India's north part we can see the northern mountains. And next one point, we can see this one northern mountains In north side, this one created as a natural boundaries for India. In the north side, northern mountains, we can see is one of the important physical features, because of we can see in the northern mountains is created natural boundaries for India and the securing to India. So this is one of the important feature of northern mountains. And next one point they say, and not only this one, we can see in this place, in that northern mountains, we can see in world in the highest mountains or peaks. So what we are knowing, the Mount Everest. So this one Mount Everest we can see in the place of northern mountains. And not only the peaks, we can see some other features also we can see in northern mountains. So what are the contents we can see? One is peaks, and second one here they say deep valleys on gorges and glaciers, and another one, last one they saying passes. So these are the important features we can see in northern mountains. Some of the places have highest peaks, some of the valleys, and some of the passes also we can see in that place, and some of the gorges and glaciers. So these are the important features we can identify in northern mountains. And next one we want to know till where we can identify as a northern mountains in north side or in India. So here they are saying in India, Indus Valley of west to we can see till Brahmaputra river of east. Indus river, Indus means Sindhu river of north side to, west side to, we can identify northern mountains till Brahmaputra river east side. That means the total length of northern mountains is 2400 kilometers. East to west, the total length of mountains they saying by 2400 kilometers. And the width of mountains, we have discussed length. So now we want to know width, how much of width we can see the mountains. Here they say the width is various, we cannot identify same width. Some place we can see 240, so that's why they are saying by 240 to 320. So this is the average of mountains width in northern mountains. So this is also one of the important points about northern mountains. And next one they say, and we can see this is west side we can see broader structure, and east side we can see narrow. West side we can see broader, we can see some of the width in that mountains, shape of the mountains, but east side we cannot get that much of border, that much of width. So that like they say. After that next one they say by total how much of area is covered by this one northern mountains. They say by 5 lakh square kilometers. 5 lakh square kilometers of area in India that is covered by northern mountains. And finally last one they say, in that place, in that mountains, steep slopes in, here they are saying steep slopes in south, in India side south. Same way in north side, Tibet sides we can see gentle slopes. Gentle slope means we can see step by step, like that like of slopes we can see in Tibet side. Tibet means in China side, north side. If you are comparing in south side, means India side, when you are seeing the structure of Himalayas, that shape is, here they are saying by steep slopes. We can see these like of slopes, steep, not that much of valley like of slopes, that is steep slopes. So these like of features we can see in northern mountains. And in northern mountains, based on the physical structures, once again we can divide it by as a 3 types. Based on the structure, based on climate conditions, we can identify there are 3 types of ranges we can see. So first one here they are saying that only the greater Himalaya, second one is lesser Himalaya, third one is Shivalik hills. One is greater Himalaya, second one is lesser Himalaya, third one is Shivalik hills. So what was the difference we can identify in the 3 ranges? Is the sum of the difference that only now we are seeing. So and that now first one we are discussing, that is the Great Himalayas. So this is one of the important part in northern mountains. In that northern mountains, this one greater Himalayas we can identify in the inner part of northern Himalaya, means in the middle part. So in that northern mountains in middle part we can see the greater Himalaya, and this is a continuous range. And next one point also they are saying this is the highest range of northern mountains. So in this place only we can see highest height mountains in the world. So that's why they say in that place the average height of the mountains is 6,100 kilometers. This is average. Just have to imagine it. The average of the mountains is 6,100 kilometers. Means we can see the highest height mountains we can identify in the place of the greater Himalaya. So in that place only we can identify world in the highest height mountain, that is Mount Everest, located in the place of the greater Himalaya. So after that they say not only this one, and we can see the other mountains also we can identify in the greater Himalaya. So here they are saying that only next one Kanchanajunga and Makulu and Dhaulagiri and Manasulu and Nanda Devi. So these are the important mountains we can identify in the place of the greater Himalaya. So after that next one point they say in that greater Himalaya for they given another name, that is Himadri. So why they called that greater Himalaya for as the Himadri? Because of in this place throughout the year is covered by a snow. In that place in the northern mountains, especially the greater Himalaya, in throughout year that place is covered by snow. That's why they give a name as a Himadri. So this is another name for greater Himalaya. And next one they say in that place we can see there are so much of glaciers, means snow rivers we can see in that place. So best example here they given, there are two important rivers, two important glaciers. One is here they saying Gangotri, second one is Yamunotri. These two glaciers is flowing in the place of Himadri or greater Himalaya. And we can see some of the passes. Passes means what we are seeing in Karnataka, some of the passes, for example Shiradi Ghat, Charmadi Ghat. So that is very difficult way to go one place to another place, to move one place to another place. That like a passes we can see in Himadri, especially in the greater Himalaya. So we can see some of the special passes. One is here they saying that is Barzil and Lozilla, and another one is Shipkila. So these like three important passes we can see in Himadri. And next one point here they say in that northwest part of Himalaya range, the northwest part of Himadri, here they calling that place is calling as a northern mountains. In Himalaya range, the northwest part of the Himadri, that is the mountain range. So in that range for they give a name as a trans mountains. And here one of the important range they dividing, that is Karakoram range. And next one we can see in that Karakoram range we can see in world in second highest height mountain, that is K2 or Godwin Austen or K2. This mountain is located in the range of Karakoram. So that like they say, and this is the highest peak in India also. We already know world in second highest height peak, and India in this is first. So these are the important points about the greater Himalaya. And second one is the lesser Himalaya. And this range, this one lesser Himalaya is located in the place of south of the greater Himalaya. In that greater Himalayan south part we are calling as a lesser Himalaya. So this one lesser Himalaya, they saying they given another name also, that is Himachal. So in that lesser Himalaya they given name as a Himachal, and this place is the average width is 60 to 80 kilometers. The average width of lesser Himalaya, that is 60 to 80 kilometers, and the average height of mountains in that lesser Himalaya, that is 1500 to 4500 kilometers. So this much of average mountains we can see in lesser Himalaya. And next one points they say in that place we can see some of the important places also. So what are the places we can identify in that place? Here they say one is Triangle and Dauladhar and Nagatiba and Muzarai and Mahabharat and the Darjeeling ranges. So these like of ranges also we can see, and some of the valleys also we can see in that place, that is Kashmir Valley, Kangra Valley, Kulu Valley, and we can see some of the hill stations. What was the hill stations we can identify? Here they are saying Shimla, Ranikhet, Muzarai, Nainital and Darjeeling. So these are the important passes and valleys and some of the ranges we can see in Lesser Himalaya. And third part of northern mountains, that is the Shivalik range or the Shivalik hills. This is the last part of the northern mountains. So in that, the last part, this one called as the outer mountains. So why they called as the outer mountains? Because of they are saying by in that place, this one called as the outer Himalaya. So why they called the outer Himalaya? Because of this place is the last part of Himalaya range. This is the last range of northern mountains. And next one point also they say this is the foothills of Himalaya. This is the first step of Himalaya range. So that's why they called as the outer Himalaya. And this is the lowest range in Himalaya range. This is the lowest ranges we can identify in Shivalik range. And next one point we want to know, the highest height mountains, the average of mountains we can see here they say 600 to 1500 meters. That much of average peaks we can see in Shivalik range. And the width also, when we are comparing the width, here also we can see there are different types of variation we can identify in Shivalik range. Some of the place we can see on that page 15 to 150 kilometers. This much of width we can identify in Shivalik range. And next one point also they say, so this place, this one Shivalik range, in the starting place is Jammu Kashmir in west to we can see till in Arunachal Pradesh of east. So till this much of extensions we can see as a Shivalik range. And next one point they say about the Shivalik range, that is in that place we are calling one of the important part, one of the important structures we are calling as a dunes. So what is meant by dunes? That means, so which area, here they say they have flat bottom, the area, the structures, some of the area in the Shivalik range have the flat bottom. And next one they say, and structural values, that is structure we can identify as a human beings only they created as a that like of structures. So these like of valleys we can identify in some of the places of Shivalik range. So this only they called as a dunes. So one of the important example for this one dunes, that is Dehradun. Dehradun is the best example for dunes. We can see dunes means now we understood the flat bottom, and we can see structural valleys. That is the shape of valleys we can identify. That also attractive valleys. So this only they given name as a dunes. And now we have discussed there are three important ranges in northern mountains. One is the Greater Himalaya, second one is Lesser Himalaya, third one is Shivalik range. Now we want to discuss what was the importance or why we want to study about the northern mountains. Any uses are there about the northern mountains? Yes. We are getting so much of uses in northern mountains. One of the best or one of the important uses, that is, this is a natural frontiers for in north side. This is a natural boundaries in north side. The mountains is prevent the attack of enemies in the north side, because of they could not come easily in that places. That is so much of difficult because of they have highest height ranges and that place is full covered by snow, and we cannot get that much of oxygen, and that is place not to live as sufficient. So that's why first one importance they say this is a natural boundaries for India, and next one, this mountains is protected to us by the opposite enemies. So this is one of the important point. Second one, this mountains is prevented one of the important cold winds is coming in the place of Central Asia. So this one mountains is protecting to us. So this is second important point. After that, next one they say, and in this mountains is one of the important reason we have one of the season, that is rainy season. We are getting rainy season because of one of the important reason, that is Himalaya range. This one bringing the raining winds. So this is also one of the importance. And next one they say, in that place, in the slope place we can see thick forest. So this is the useful to grow a plantation crops. Best example in Assam, the peoples of Assams, they producing by tea in that forest. So this is also one of the important uses. And next one they say, in that place we can see there are so much of minerals. This is a house of minerals. We are getting so much of minerals in that mountains, and the birthplace of many rivers. So especially in North India, which are the rivers we are seeing in North India, in that rivers birthplace is Northern mountains. And next one they say, and this here we can see some of the waterfalls. So this is useful to generate a hydroelectricity power. So these are the important uses of the greater Himalaya, or the Himalaya range, or the northern mountains. They secrete into us by the enemies and the cold winds, and they bringing the rain winds, and there are many rivers. We can see the birthplace of many rivers, and they producing hydroelectricity. And we can see there are some of the plantations crops also they are growing in that particular place, and they are attracting by the tourism also. So these are the important points about the northern mountains. Next class we can discuss about next another important physical features. Okay, thank you.